Well, hello and welcome everyone. Elite Aspect F125, round 3 here in Japan at the Suzuka circuit, getting ready for qualifying. I'm Fabregas115 bringing to you all the live action here in Elite Aspect F125. As we get ready for qualifying. Full qualifying here at the Japan circuit. As you can see there, what the corners are called. Over top, the actual sectors given to us by Formula One. Great results so far. So FP1, we saw Florissant on top with a 126.645. And FP2, it was Joe Animator and the Ferrari with a 127.942. And just a little bit earlier, in free practice 3, was again Florissant on top of the 127.809. Seth Martin in the Ferrari with a 127.846. So you can kind of get an idea of where these qualifying times are going to come from as we're here in Q1 and it is raining. So just talk about a little bit driver standing so far. ONB Alberto had the win in Australia and then was in the top 5 in the last 2 sprint race and race at China, with Edvin Naslin taking both wins at the sprint and feature race Grand Prix at China. So Ferrari's moved up in the constructor standings on 62, but still the V-Carb's out of reach on 74, as it will be Marcos Almeida and Alberto also racing this weekend. Take a look at the calendar as we're here for round 3 here in Japan, as drivers are just now getting out there. Light rain, it looks like intermediate tires. Should be fun qualifying session then, as I think it's time to probably get with it. And possibly maybe a drying session. Who knows? As we now see a lot of drivers getting out there on outlaps. A lot of drivers still in the pits. Maybe trying to wait it out as long as they can. Because every time somebody goes out there, does a lap, they're moving water. Overall and Animator are the first to start their laps. Saw both of them a lot in FP3. Overall in the Red Bull now. I believe Animator's just in front of him in the Ferrari. Not all the way up at the hairpin yet. Just in front through the Degnas. You know, getting a lap time on the board might just be the best way to get through here in Q1. As we're bringing to you the opening laps here in Q1 for Elite Aspect F125 here in round 3 at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. Love the cherry blossoms there, as you can see them on the right side exiting Spoon. You also see them coming through turns 5, 6, 7 there of the S's. Animator is pushing on. It's a 118.8 after the second middle sector there. But posting a time, all important at the moment. It's going to be a 137.861. It was Animator with a 137.86 with, I mean, Bovril right behind with a 136.645. Lots of drivers coming out of the pits at the moment. Looks like Johnny Carr will be the next one in the Red Bull to put in a time. It's slowing down. Might go again. We might see quite a bit of that in the rain here. Everybody is on the intermediates. I don't see... That's the thing. You can load the car up. Don't want a set of intermediates. Load the car up with fuel. And, go out there and give it quite a few runs, the way the inters degrade, especially if there's water on the track. And it's Marcos Almeida in the B car with a 136.191. It's 5/10 ahead. Guys just getting laps in. That's the ultimate goal here. Get in a lap, please. A little bit of the inside curve there. Gonna allow for a good exit from MDJ here. Up the hill in the Aston Martin. He's got two Alpines in front to contend with. Two 130R. Oh, not nice. Not sure if that was Young Lights or Poison Harbor. MDJ does a 138.897. Second off his teammate with a 137.898. We'll check in with Marcos Almeida, who set the fastest time on the intermediate tires around a wet track here at the Suzuka circuit for Elite Aspect FP, Elite Aspect F125. Abdullah in the Williams did a 136.856. Good to see him back. Bovril, no. Was that Ghost that just put in the 136.987? Both the Ferraris tighten it there. Both Masters we've seen has pace. It's 138.4. X-Joe into the pitch. Johnny Carr still hasn't quite put in a lap yet. I want to take a look at the track. Is it drying? Hard to get out of the way, especially with the track in this condition. Drivers finding the limit, maybe a little bit off. Oh, was able to keep it in the white lines there. Through the triangle, final chicane here, around the final turn. Keeps it to the inside. Gets a 138 flat, moves up to 10. Makes safe. Really, I think MDJ, X-Joe definitely frozen or at risk with 3 drivers yet to put in laps. Marcos Almeida extends his time lead. EBR Seth Martin moves up with a 136.806. Bovril with that 136.645 in the pits. And Marcos Olmedo has done a 136.085. I expect to see these times dropping. Gonna Aston Martin to contend with up front. Soft compound tires. Looks like an improvement for Ghost at the moment in the Sauber. His way through the final chicane. Finishing up the lap here. On the traction. Could be an improvement. Moves up to second with a 136.594. Really what we're looking at now is these guys at the back. Outlap for X-Joe. Still in the pits is Frozen. Poison Harbor has an invalidated lap. Harrison with a fantastic middle sector. Making his way down into the final chicane again. Looks like a pretty good lap. Able to get the power down. Might have lost a couple tenths there. Stays snug to the inside. And goes second with a 136.278. X-Joe has been quick. We've seen really good pace out of them. A little wide in the first Degna there and just couldn't hang on. Frozen is behind on an outlap. Poison Harbor's not going to be able to improve on this lap. Dula may be trying to improve this lap to get around one more time. Checking in with the Williams and Abdullah here with a 116.893 in the middle sector. That's 1 second up. This could be a 135. And it is a 135.453 to go top. More sits on the soft and is 7 tenths slower in the first sector there, it looked like. Is the track drying? And as we ride on board, because it's the first driver to really do it, might be safe in fourth there. It looks like it says a 136.415. I think it's going to be a little bit down finishing the middle sector here. Yeah, it's not going to be a time where soft compound's not quite there yet. Frozen can actually put a legitimate time on the board here. Should be better off. Thought it was an improvement. It was. No improvement from X-Joe as of yet. Johnny Carr is going to want to improve with Masters and Bundy on an outlap. Plus Poison Harbor and MTU have not put in a lap yet. That might be abandoned from Johnny Carr there. Animator might want to improve, is improving so far in the first sector. Making his way through the spoon curves. Looks like it's backed out. Again, easy to live and fight another day, or another lap as we would call it, here. On the intermediate tires. You've saved some energy and you've got enough fuel. Looks like Young Legs is on a lap as well, trying to improve on the intermediates. So it should be, because everybody put in a couple more laps of fuel, decided to put on the intermediates and do a couple runs, instead of changing intermediates and coming on with fresh on ones, because it's not that necessary. Go ahead and give a shout out to Young Lights as we're riding on board, making his way through the spoon section up the hill. Three tenths up. Let's see another 135 here. If you can gain a tenth or two here through the chicane of the triangle. Up a gear, up a gear. Yeah, absolutely. 135.842. Takes second. As let's check back. Seth Marty, who I missed out on, I do apologize, overtakes Young Lights for second with an 135.805, sorry. Trying to find who's further down here. Oakmasters are 4 tenths up in the middle sector. Crosses line, able to improve to 12. Extra needs to get a hurry up if he wants to get this lap in. MTU in the Mercedes needs to get on the power and get a lap time in, at least something. He could be 14th, who knows? Marcos Almeida does a 135.249 to set the fastest time. MTU's on a decent lap here. It definitely looks like an improvement. Will it be enough to move up? As Harrison Holmes has a 135 flat. MTU's going to cross the line 15th. Frozen's now on a lap. We're waiting for Extra behind. MTJ's not improving. Johnny Carr about to start a lap. MTU's not going to be able to get around to do another one, or is he? Is this the lap he's going for it? Frozen should be ahead already on a lap. Where's Poison Harbor? Starting a lap. But we'll be Frozen. Losing a bit of the rear end there, going to cost a little bit. Into the hairpin. Hopefully hasn't backed out of this. It might only be the bottom four that drop out. MTU might be safe. I don't think Frozen's lap's going to be there. Johnny Carr looks to be improving. I think it's already safe from what I'm seeing behind. This could be a good lap for Johnny Carr here. Yeah, 136.447. Moves up to 10th. So definitely impressive there. MDJ, skin of his teeth there. Unless Extra can improve. No, that was invalidated, but did actually end up doing a 136 something. So that happened very, very fast. So I wasn't quite sure what Extra did there, but it looked like a 130 something, 6 something. It looked like it would have been an improvement, but unfortunately was invalidated. Yeah, as we'll go ahead and take a look here. Some guys did put on soft tires and put in some laps. So it looked like it was drying. Poison Harbor no lap. Yeah, so it's only 16 through 19. So bottom 4 dropped out. MTU did make it in that Mercedes. But was well off the pace. I guess just kept invalidating. Couldn't get a real good time in. But like I said, putting a lap in is very, very important here. And as we get ready for Q2 here in Japan for Elite Aspect F125. Round 3, again at the Suzuka circuit here in Japan. A little bit of rainy in qualifying 1 there. So let's move on to Q2. It's still raining. We'll see if this session dries out a little bit. I'll disappear for just a moment as Q2 gets underway, and be back to talk about this in just a little bit as far as what's happening out there with the top 15 drivers who made it through from Q1. Now into Q2, 15 minutes on the clock. Set your fastest time. It is a little rainy, so I expect drivers to be a little bit cautious as they go out there to start, and if we have any change in the weather, they'll either get out there early or get out there late and try to set a time. I'm so sorry. I've had my boom mic off the whole time. So that was the end of Q2. Hopefully I made y'all could see everything, but you couldn't hear me at all. So do apologize for that. As we begin Q3 here. Still raining. Elite Aspect F125, round 3, season 1, around Suzuka circuit here in Japan. Last 10 drivers, Q3. Here's the shootout for the race tomorrow. And there's a little bit of the track map for you. There's our calendar as we're here in round 3. We'll be moving to Bahrain in the next round, and then on to Saudi before coming to Miami in the US for sprint race weekend. Driver standings: Owen B. Alberto, who's not in this session, is leading the way with Edvin Naslin, Marcos Almeida, and Joe Animator in the Ferrari. With the V-carbs of Olmedo and Alberto leading the way, and Ferrari catching up in the constructors. And we're in with a lot of drivers there all together doing outlaps. Soft compound tires, it looks like. As we take a look at our drivers who have made it into Q3 here. 12 minutes, 10 minutes to go. All the drivers getting out there. Is Joe Animator, the first one out, weaving back and forth. There's a Red Bull Bovril behind him. Looks like these will be the first two to put in laps. Soft compound tires, still raining. There's a dry line out there though. It will be Animator and Bovril put in our first laps. Followed by Young Lights, Abdullah, Harrison. Checking out the Ferrari, Joe Animator YT. Of course, is going to set the fastest first sector. First one to complete the first sector in anger around the Suzuka circuit here in Japan for round 3 of Elite Aspect F125. Again, just started the season, brand new game, new physics, no assists. Full race weekend with FP 1 and 2, then 3 in qualifying, and then the next day we have the race. So a lot of work goes into this, a lot of driving. Team principal is always at work. As we're here with Joe Animator in the Ferrari, going to be the first one to set a lap. Feel like he's made a little bit of headway on Bovril. Cross the line with a 134.997, so 135. It is Bovril does a 135.5. Abdullah did a 134.554. Young Lights comes across with a 978. I thought it was... How did I lose him? So fast. Well, that sets the tone. As Ghost is pushing on, looking for a lap time. I wonder if it was Seth that invalidated. Ghost goes 5th with a 135.115. Now there's Seth. Comes across with a 134.646. So TFT 10, Harrison and TFT 10 Abdullah. Top spots at the moment. Marcus Olmedo is still in the pits, hasn't put in a time. I think Florissant's going to have one more shot at it. All the drivers should be on in laps. Because Boval wasn't pushing on either. As all the drivers should be coming into the pits here. Coruscant does improve on that time there. The 135.192. I think that's enough time to get around and do a quick lap, get around, and probably will be the last one out. As Ghost is not doing a time, that's got to be an in lap. Same with EVR Seth Martin. Coming in, so Florissant will be the last one in. And it's who's going to be the first one out. We've got a Red Bull. Is that a V-carb? No, that is the Red Bull of Bovril leaving the pits. So Bober will be the first to set a lap. May do 2 warm-up laps, who knows? Especially in these conditions. Might benefit, as a matter of fact. It is not a bad idea. Give yourself some time. Try a push lap, and if you make a mistake early on in the lap, and bring it back around again. But you need to be getting out of the pits right now. And without pushing, Bovril did a 135.518, which was an improvement, so now DRS has been disabled. That's interesting. It's going to make every driver lose a few tenths. As we'll check on Bovril's time here as he makes his way into the first sector. Up by a tenth. definitely like to see a bit more of an improvement than that. As he makes his way through Degna's into the hairpin. A little bit of a slide in there. So we've got the Haas and the Ferrari of Seth and Coke Masters, unrespectively. On outlaps. A couple more drivers look like they're moving in the pit lanes. Going to be interesting to see. Everybody needs to be getting out now. Will be Bovril to set a time. Needs to improve a little bit more in this final sector to improve on his position at all. 4/10 gap almost to Florissant and the Aston Martin in front. As the rear end comes around there and decides to go into the pits, I don't think he's going to have enough time to put on a new set. As Marcos Almeida is still in the pits. It will be EVR Seth Martin who now try to set the best qualifying time. It's raining. DRS was disabled. Looks like he's backed out. I think it's too wet for improvement on soft compound tires now. But this is possibly going to be the grid order. So check out Florissant in this first sector here. Are the soft compounds faster? No. I think that's going to do it. Q3 here. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to improve as the weather is changing. It's getting wetter and wetter out there. Drivers can attempt. As I think the grip is gone. And just the continuous rain has made it so it would dry out a little bit. And it just kept raining, and for some reason the track just stopped drying. And at the end of the session here, I feel like the intermediates would have been faster, but would they have been faster than the soft tires at the soft tires' fastest point? As it is Harrison who will take pole position here in Japan for Elite Aspect F125 round 3 here at the Suzuka circuit. Changeable conditions here in our qualifying session. Intermediates won the day in Q2. Q3 was a battle of the softs and intermediates, and then at the beginning of Q3 here, the softs were the right tire. But unfortunately, the track did not rubber in and dry out anymore. It actually went a little wetter, and the drivers are not able to improve throughout the final qualifying session here for Elite Aspect F125. Round 3 here in Japan. So it is Harrison that wins the top spot. And we'll start on the front row of the grid with Abdullah in the waves beside, rounding out the first row. Ferrari and Alpine of Seth and Young Lights now will be row 2 with Animator in the Ferrari and Ghost in the other Kick Sauber. So big battle between Sauber and Ferrari tomorrow as we look forward to the Japanese Grand Prix here for Elite Aspect F125. That's going to do it here from us this afternoon for qualifying. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow in the race. Should be a real fun one, as Japan does usually some fun racing and at least some drama at the most part. So look forward to seeing you guys then. I'm Fabregas115 signing off here for Elite Aspect F125, and really look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.